I panic bought an FX3 at the beginning of last year because
It's a
I
good
thought
panic.
tariffs.
It's a good panic buy.
Tariffs were gonna, like, I was saving up for it, and I was halfway there, and then we're like, tariffs are gonna make everything go up 198%, and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna buy it now.
Yeah.
I also bought it brand new on eBay.
All right, there you go.
From somebody in Washington for $3,000.
So I got usually what it goes for?
48.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's great.
I'm out of the gear loop, I guess.
Out of the game.
Yeah, you're not.
Out of the game.
You just push buttons.
I know. I'm just a button pusher.
That's what I do when I play video games. Everyone gets mad at me because sometimes I win, but I'm just a button masher.
You're just
So, like, I used to play Street Fighter as a kid.
Do you just mash buttons in the edit and see
Yeah,
what
and
happens?
stuff just
You're
comes
just
out.
like, no way.
I'm just like just smacking the keyboard, and then the video comes out. I'm like, and export.
You get what
like
you
a
get.
typewriter.
Yeah.
You get what you get. And you don't throw a fit. You know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I haven't been using the DaVinci Resolve keyboard yet, but my wife has been.
Did you get the full keyboard or the speed
No,
editor?
the speed editor. But
Are you in DaVinci yet?
I switched sometime
keep
after
talking.
meeting you because
I think you've been the reason both of us switched.
Good.
Well, because I remember talking to you and I had that stuff in Premiere,
That's right.
and then you were like, "Well, watch this," and I was like, it was like just at your studio one day, and I was like, all right, I think this might speed up my workflow. I didn't get the fancy stuff yet. I'm a little bit afraid to. But the reason
You're
why,
scared?
yeah, I'm scared.
I'm scared. I'll go too fast.
One of the
I'll
main
get too much work done.
one of the main reasons I
speed.
switched it though is because I was talking about how I suck at color grading.
Yeah.
And you were
Yes.
like, I did too, and then I switched to DaVinci and it got better.
Yeah.
And
It's
I
like
was
those people that are
okay.
like, oh, the tool doesn't matter. And it's like, to a certain
It's like-
extent, like,
It definitely helps.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Coloring in Premiere was horrible.
I had to do a project in Premiere not that long ago because I was working with somebody who only had Premiere.
Yeah.
And I was like, how the freak did I ever do this? It's like,
So I got to a point in color grading in Premiere that I made good stuff. Like anything I ever did at the Chapel was in Premiere color graded, and it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
And its limitations were largely my own limitations. One of the
100%.
things that I'm sure it could have done, but I never learned how, was like grabbing and isolating skin tones.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't learn how to do it or ever try doing it until I got Resolve. But now that I can do that and I can actually build more
game
looks,
changer.
that has,
I think in Premiere it's I can't remember what it's called, but it does the same thing as like the qualifier.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And I tried that, but it always, like, it would isolate the skin tones, but then it would always just make them really orange no matter what I did.
Yeah. I think the big thing with it is just that DaVinci has such a workflow that you need to know what everything does. Where
Mhm.
Premiere, you can just keep throwing on the layers. And like the organization's like crap, and you can't figure out why they're orange or why that's red. And then DaVinci forces you to like lay everything out in a way that like takes more time and
But it's more
short term,
intuitive, I
but
think.
it's more intuitive in the long run.
Yeah.
100%.
So we're gonna hit the intro.
right.
I don't know if you've noticed, but one of the kitschy things that we've been doing is we change the music every single time.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
So
I didn't listen to enough to.
right now, I'd like you to tell me what kind of music you'd like your intro to be.
Oh man.
I can be your hero, baby.
Like they can't be licensed.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm not
If
paying
it's
money
less than
for
a
it.
minute.
I'm gonna say purely just because it's like I listen to it the most, like synth vaporwave.
Deal.
Oh, dope.
Let's do it.
Why are you holding your coffee like that?
Because
This is hot. I don't want to bite my tongue.
I feel like this episode, more than any so far, is going to be the most clippable.
we'll see.
I hope it's also productive.
Yeah.
That's the balance.
Yeah.
Like clippable, productive.
Yeah.
You know? That's what we
Exactly.
want. That's
Yeah.
what we want.
Are you going to welcome us in?
Yeah. Welcome to Can You Change the Music, the creative safe space for encouragement and commiseration. I'm one of your hosts, Jeremiah. I'm joined by Joe. Hello, Joe.
Hello.
What are you going to say now?
I just thought I wouldn't say anything because that would throw you off just as much as me saying something crazy.
That's nice. Well,
You nailed that intro, by the way.
Thank you. I'm very excited for our guest.
I'm so pumped.
I think we shouted you out in episode 2.
Yes.
We kind of doxed you a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, Ryan
What does
from
that mean
Libertyville.
again? Oh.
Disclose location.
Disclose
Yeah.
Like, you say big words I don't understand.
Yes, dox is a famously small word.
It's been a day already. Where's my cat?
So Ryan, we've known each other how long? What, 5 years, 6 years?
Oh, man. Yeah, I want to say 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give a little spiel as to who you are and what you do currently,
Yeah.
because it's changed.
It has changed
And
quite
we'll
a
talk
bit.
about that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I started a video production company, 4-7 Productions, in 2019. And then what we specialize now is specifically editing, post-production, kind of the whole package, and then doing that with documentaries. So brand documentaries, short docs, long form. We have like 2 features that we're working on.
Dude, that's sick.
It sounds, yeah.
It is.
I think
let it be sick.
Yeah, I think the ongoing theme we'll find in this episode is how much I downplay things because I don't like to get excited about what I'm doing.
I think also though there's something to be said for
Let others be excited.
something seems crazy and then you get into it, and so as a result it
100%.
doesn't feel as crazy.
Yeah.
It's probably both.
Yeah.
Because I do the same thing.
It's like it's just like imposter syndrome. Like we all
Yeah.
experience it. And I think there's that thing when you envision what it's going to feel like to be in the thing, and then you get into the thing and you realize, oh, there's all these new problems and new issues, and what you don't realize is they always were going to be there.
Yeah.
Yep.
On the off chance that you have listened to Over the Edge, the podcast I was doing documenting my process of starting my company, Ryan was a semi-recurring character in its limited run. So there's
Also, this is the first guest we've had on who I actually knew prior to them being here.
I know
It's
you guys
true.
both knew me.
Yeah.
And weirdly, like, I met you guys completely disconnected from each other.
Yeah.
But Ryan, he was supposed to connect us a while back.
Yeah, I think it was
before-
this podcast is just like a long game in me making up for all the times I told Joe I would introduce him to people.
And now you're
And then-
finally
now it's like,
so,
yeah,
like,
fulfilling that.
we connect over because we're in the same like master class, like the documentary master class.
AOD, yeah.
And you posted something, you were close, and I was like, oh, we should connect. And then through the course of that conversation, I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, we started connecting the dots.
I'm like, do you know Jeremiah?
Yep. Yep.
So that was cool.
It was
Yeah.
really
So I did it on my
Yeah.
own. I don't need you.
Yeah. So some things I definitely want to get into in any
Anything.
order. I want to talk about your creative journey in the sense of like you have come now to a place where you niched down, you got pretty specific, and but it was 6 years or something into running your business. 4, 5, 6. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about some of like the personal motivations in you starting a business and the challenges along the way. And then I also want to talk about DaVinci Resolve
Please.
a little bit.
Yeah. Sounds like a good roadmap.
Yeah, love
We
it.
already started the DaVinci Resolve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First question, and it's just jumping right into the personal stuff.
All right.
When you left this is a 2-part question. When you like started your business, when you started 4137 Productions, was the motivation to provide for my family? Like, I'm assuming there was a personal motivation, and that's just a yes or no, because I have a follow-up question.
No.
Oh.
No.
Go on. Expound.
It was purely so I went to school for documentary.
Okay.
And honestly, most of my direction has been just with my faith and following where I'm feeling called into.
Yeah.
And that was a big part. I think I was going to propose to my girlfriend, now wife. And it was my last year of college, and spent some time in prayer of just like, where do you want me to go? And just felt this kind of calling and this layout. And I didn't come out of a space of I need to do this in order to provide. It came out of a space of this is where I think I'm supposed to be.
Mm.
And if it is, then the provision will come.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome. I like that.
Yeah, a lot easier
Scary.
said. Yeah, exactly. Like
Right.
it's cool. It's cool now, like 7 years later,
Yeah.
to be like, wow, and it actually happened, and there was provision. But there's, I
The
think,
journey of
throughout
that.
the whole process, there has always been this level of like, okay, if you want to blow this thing up and take me somewhere else, like I'm cool with that. But like,
have you had
know.
moments of like, oh, I'm gonna have to do something else, or has it always been like,
yes, yeah, a lot of it has been. I mean, could we kind of chat a little bit like how involved we want to be in the conversation of like faith and stuff? But a lot of it just comes down to me like, no work's coming in. It seems like the bank account's getting smaller, and you're just kind of looking, going like, okay, like what are we supposed to be doing? And just get into prayer and go like, okay, like what do you want me to do? And he's pulled me into different directions, and like just crazy stuff keeps happening to a level that's like kind of annoying, because like I think there's this level of like where I'm at doesn't feel because I like had the right strategy and was able to like maneuver business wise, and like I mean
100%?
I tell you guys multiple times like I'm horrible at sales, like, but I have found a different direction of like getting work. So it's just been kind of a crazy journey of
Are you cool with just sharing that a little bit? Like when you say a different direction, what does that mean? What does that look like?
Yeah.
And I want to specify, I think one of the biggest like fallacies of our industry is that you have to be like cold calling and cold emailing and like, I just fascinated. So with as much as you're willing to share on that, what's that look like 100%. For you?
Yeah, really interesting question. I think there's a couple layers to it. One part of it was about 3.5 years ago, like getting diagnosed with ADHD. And part of why that plays into it is there was a space of realizing that the consistency that you need to do with cold calls, and also I think pitching and selling myself was really hard. And it wasn't necessarily I didn't think I could contribute value. It's hard for me to send out an email or send out a call and go, hey, here's why you need me. Because in reality, I'm like, you don't need me. You can find so-and-so and get a lower price and still get a high quality like product. But that actually then became my tool, is to go, let me build long-term relationships with people. That's what I like to do. And what I found that worked so well about it was like, when I was doing the whole process from pre-production to production to post-production and everything, was like I'd meet with a client, we would have this long conversation, I'd pitch them on a project, and then you're having this back and forth for maybe like a month, 2 months of pricing. You finally land it, you get it, and like they trust you. You give them a great product, like you're happy with it, they're happy with it, but they've blown their entire marketing budget for one video for the year. And it felt hard for me to go, okay, next year, let's do this. Like, I was like, I don't actually know if my video can contribute the return on investment that you're giving me. But when I switched to editing, there became this using my brain and like how I like to function, which is relationships first.
Yeah.
Actually benefited, because what it became was, let me help you buy more time by taking on the editing, taking on the thing you hate. And then what's great is, hey, the better work I do and the more work I do buys you more time to get more work, which then gives me more work. And now we're collaborating and doing a relationship instead of this thing where I'm going to hand you money and you're going to give me a product that's going to make me more money. Well, because I couldn't promise that.
And that kind of gets into the reality that if you are going to do the whole thing, like in the video production space, you're going to conceptualize, you're going to close the deal, you're going to shoot the thing. Like if that's your business model, you have to put in the work and focus around ROI for the client and how does this make marketing sense and all this stuff. And it's neither good nor bad. It's just different. I, for a long time, wrestled with that because I felt like I didn't really care about marketing. That's not why I started. And I feel like a lot of people hit that crossroads where it's like, I either need to really focus on the marketing side of things, or I need to figure out if there's a different niche part of this world that I can lean into more. Because it changed your clientele.
100%.
Yeah, because your clients are mostly filmmakers now.
Yes, exactly. Which like has been the biggest blessing on so many fronts.
Yeah.
Because I realized, and I think you guys can relate to this, and anyone else who's doing video production, the hard work isn't making the product. It's communicating to your client how the product's made, adjusting expectations. Hey, I'm going to send you a rough cut. Here's what it's going to look like. Or here's what it takes for me to make this edit. All of a sudden I'm working with people that when they say, the joke with this whole podcast is like changing the music, they understand what their ask is.
Right.
And so when I send them a invoice for that, they don't bat an eye, and they're like, yeah, I get it. Like we asked you to redo the whole thing. I know how many hours that takes. And so like it allowed me to focus more on the craftsmanship of the product
sick. That's
as opposed
awesome.
to trying to sell myself.
I love that.
Yeah.
And that's, go ahead.
I just, no, I wanted to pivot, so you can finish your thought.
I forgot it.
Oh, nice. Perfect segue. You were talking about ADHD.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I just want to ground us back in like the personal journey.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of a crazy couple of years, like, and we can get into it. Like my wife experienced some health stuff, which is playing it really lightly. And then at the same time, I got diagnosed with ADHD, which was like this, it was a weird space because it was one of those things where it's like, oh, this makes a lot of sense, but also like my life was so much harder because I didn't know I had it.
Yeah.
And so then it became this thing of like, and still a process, like I'm still trying to figure out of like working with my brain as opposed to against it. And I think like when we talk about the cold calls and the cold emails and this like sales pitch idea, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If you can do that and you're getting the work, like go for it.
Yeah.
I struggled to wake up every day and do that consistently. Like you're throwing yourself into the void and hoping something comes back. And often I just felt like that wasn't the most useful, like that wasn't the best way to use my time.
Yeah.
And so it's been then going, okay, like my brain needs novelty, it needs relationships, it needs things that feel meaningful for me to like care about something.
Yeah.
And what I realized is I'd get work about things I didn't care about and it'd pay, but it was like halfway through, it's like you're starting this marathon and you like, why did I sign up for this? Like, what is the point of it? And
it's really hard. It's interesting. I feel like that's really hard in editing. For me, I felt like the editing has been the hardest part where if I don't deeply care about the thing, it's really hard for me to get it to come to life.
Yeah. Yeah. There's been switching just into editing, there's been so many cool and challenging things that like I've discovered around how I work and also like working with other people and figuring out how they work. Cause when you film, I don't know about you guys, but it's like when you film something, you're filming with the edit in mind. Ooh, okay, I'll cut to this. Okay, I'll cut. As an editor, you're just given a bunch of raw footage and having to figure that out. And that's where the ADHD comes in, is like something with ADHD is you're really great at connecting the dots. Sometimes when there's no dots to be connected, and like that's a different.
So you're using it as your superpower.
100%.
Yeah,
and I think that was the thing is like learning, oh, okay, this is like why I'm good at it. But then also when it comes to the business side of things, when it comes to management, when it comes to delegation, all the things that need consistency and structure, like that's where I struggle. But then it's also going, okay, I don't have to do it how everyone else is doing it.
Right.
But then the challenge becomes, like, I think where the imposter syndrome is like, I'm not doing it how everybody else wants to do it. So then how do I know if I'm failing or succeeding?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
have you come to any conclusions on that? Or
no idea. No.
I just know that philosophically is out there.
Well, it's like, am I trailblazing or have I lost the plot?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would say that I have figured out what success looks like for me. I think for me, it's really important to have a balance. Like, I don't ever want my job to become my identity. Like, it's what I do and it's like my calling and I love it, but also I want to have a balance. And so I think if I can be a good husband, be a good friend, be a good brother, like son, and then also be a good like business leader or like business owner and balance all those things and none of them are crumbling, to me, that's success.
Yeah.
But
I like that.
We're trying. We're trying.
I'm good with it. I think the awesome thing about what you're describing though is it sounds to me like the Lord had put you on this path. Yeah. And this path then was a discovery of some things that actually helped you in the long term,
100%.
And then I love what you said. This is, we always want to bring this back to practical things because for a lot of creative people, ADHD is actually really prevalent.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And it like kills you in like the business. It can.
Or you can make it your superpower. And I think that's worth discovering. And I don't think that I have ADHD. Maybe I do. It's been not diagnosed. I've never even tried.
Same.
But I definitely can catch myself like having squirrel moments.
Yeah.
And for me, the part of my business that has made the most sense is sales. Like, and I've been able to, but I do it from a position of relationship. I've not once sent a cold call or cold email.
Yeah.
And so
I did once.
Did you like it?
I mean, he answered.
Really?
And then we talked.
So you're one for one.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm stopping now. I'm going out on top.
Yeah, exactly.
So it became nothing though.
Yeah.
So I was like, I hate this.
Well, that's the thing with ADHD that I realized is like and I've done so much research because I'm trying to understand like how my brain works and stuff. But the thing that I realized was like it was less of distractibility and more about motivation.
Yeah.
And so it was like, and I think we like what's hard about like talking about ADHD is like a lot of people are like, oh, I relate to that. Like, does that mean I have ADHD? And like everyone has to go on their kind of own discovery with that. But for me, it was the realization of like, okay, I'm not lazy. My brain is just hungry for dopamine and I need to figure out how to give it that in a way that allows me to move in the ways that I'm doing. But I think like there have been multiple times I've either been in conversation with my wife or prayer and been like, this sucks. Like, can we just do something else? Like, because with ADHD, it's like you need structure and you need deadlines. And it's actually really helpful to like go, hey, every day you're going to start here. And, we both worked at Starbucks and like that was great for my brain. What's not great for my brain is being my own boss and going like, you have to be in at 7 a.m. It's like, I don't. And like, and so then
says who?
Yeah, it says who? Like, we can do fire me? Like, so.
I've fired myself multiple times.
Yeah, exactly. But then the conversation is like, okay, like I do have this flexibility. Why do I have to work like everybody else is working?
Right.
Like if I'm having, what we call like a low dope day, like low dopamine day, and I can't get myself going, I can just take the day off and that's actually going to benefit me. Now what's hard is I do that and then I hate myself and there's shame and like that's the work.
You know what's crazy? Yeah. I'm like, as you're talking, I'm taking notes because I'm like, this is so like I'm learning so much about myself. And like you talk about the identification. The interesting thing though, what I love about what I do is I have some of my most productive days in my underwear, in my bed, editing with the bed. Like I have a bed that tilts up. And
Your slug mode.
My wife will come in the room and I have like this little lap thing and I'll just be going to town.
Yeah.
And my wife's like, where are your clothes at? And I'm like, shh.
Yeah.
This is what I need. Like,
I'm in a flow.
Yeah.
In flow state.
I'm in flow state. Shh.
It's kind of like when you wake up in the middle of the night and you have to get up, but you're like, I don't want to disturb the sleep mode I'm in. I'm in such a perfect, proper mode. I don't want to pull me out of it.
Oh yeah, like if I have to go to the bathroom, like try to keep my eyes closed.
Yeah. That's what flow state is.
Yeah. I'm there sometimes.
Yeah. We're always chasing it.
Always trying to find flow state. What's one piece of practical advice you could give somebody who has ADHD and is trying to build their video business by themselves and they have to do everything and they're feeling overwhelmed and maybe unqualified?
Good question.
I think on one end I go, you are like underqualified. And like
that's okay.
That's okay. Like I think there's this the biggest lie, and I don't think it's just with ADHD, but I think it's with everybody, is you don't arrive. We are all like chasing that feeling of like, I'm gonna walk into my studio, I'm gonna have all this work, I'm gonna have these employees, and it's gonna feel like this. And like we create this fantasy that we chase, when in reality is like, even when you get those employees, you walk in, okay, that's 4 extra people that have payroll. Okay, those are more projects that are like it's not this, you're not going to arrive to this place where it's this, never-ending harmony of creativity and collaboration. Like it's always going to be work.
Oh yeah. I felt so just it's not a bad thing, but so we talked earlier, like I met you in transit of like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? And
yeah, we met at a very, very interesting,
it
like,
was so
pinpoint
cool.
time.
I don't know if I know that story.
So when we were talking, because I'd seen the doc that you put in the one day doc competition that you got an award for.
Extension.
What's it called?
AOD.
Thank you. We're not sponsored by them.
Yeah.
Yet.
We probably will never be sponsored by them. I love it. But I was just like seeing your work and all that. And so I wanted to connect with you. And then I found out that you're a believer. And like, so that was a cool connection. And then we're just talking business and I'm asking you questions and you're like telling me about the process of your transition in your business. Got to clarify. And I remember watching those jobs come in.
Yeah.
It even like changed the way that you structured your business. And I remember hearing the stress on the phone of like this and this and this. And I was like, oh yeah, like this is getting real for you.
Yeah. Well, and to even go back a bit, because I like the question about the ADHD and I'm going to get to that in a second, but like to kind of pinpoint this, it was, long story short, I had no work, like video work. I was doing some podcast work. It was the only thing keeping us afloat. I say us, it was mainly me and some contractors. And I was in a call with AOD. It was like this acceleration program, and they're all about like, how do you niche down your business and how do you kind of find your lane? And I mentioned I like editing, and everyone's like, we hate editing, and every post-production house is booked for the next 2 years. And I was like, all right, this seems kind of cool. And I was trying to figure out how to do sales, which I hate doing, and just felt kind of pushed to reach out to the group. And there was a specific group of people in the AOD community that was like faith-based. And I was just like, all right, I'm just going to go, hey, I'm an editor, would love to chat. And like, I think it was like 20 or 30 people messaged me back.
Dude,
and I was just like,
crazy.
That's crazy.
And that was the moment where it
Have you told this to Mark?
No.
You should share this with
maybe.
them.
Yeah, I should.
I'm just as a side note, like, you need to share this
we
with them.
We can clip this one.
Yeah.
Like, send it to him, because like that is kind of the power of that community.
100%. And that was, to then speak into the ADHD space, is like, I realized that like, what was I going to say? I realized that if I try to do the cold calls, I'm working against my brain. This community aspect of going, hey, whoever's interested and wants to talk and like have a conversation, like that's working with my brain. Now I have to keep reminding myself that I'm stepping and doing things that are working with my brain as opposed to against it. And just because people find success in one lane, it's going to maybe feel like I'm trying to bash down a wall with my head. And that like, so it's like trying to find what actually works and trying things and letting yourself fail and go, okay, cool, that didn't work. Let me try and do a thing. And so that flexibility. So it was reaching out. And then so I have no video work, and we're being held together by this podcast client, which was amazing. And we are in a meeting. We like connect. All these people are now messaging me, hey, let's like have a conversation to like all around the country, all around the world. And you found out that you live in Wisconsin. So I was like, well, let's grab a bite. And so we're at Noodles and Company, and you and I are just like really connecting and vibing and like awesome. Spirits moving and all this cool stuff. And then I get a text that's like from our podcast client going like, yeah, we're going to take this in-house. So the only thing that was keeping us afloat is now going away in the middle of me shifting into this like post-production thing. And you were amazing. We prayed, we cried, like we were just like in this like emotional space and just kind of like, wow, okay, like I don't really get a choice anymore. Like we're getting pushed into this. And I called my wife, and she was like, I was like, yeah, like we lost this client. And she was like, how? I mean, love her, because she wasn't like, oh, we're screwed. She's like, how are you feeling about it? I'm like, I think it needs to happen, because it was just like 1 foot in, 1 foot out situation.
Yeah.
Hey, let's pause.
Yep. We're gonna take a quick break.
Yeah.
Play some ad reads from our sponsors.
You've not put an ad read yet. I've been waiting for it.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm gonna. And then I want to hear more about the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you still like filming anything, or have you like put a camera down?
I just picked it back up for the first time in like a year.
Good.
Which
Like you're
is
too
exciting.
talented.
Oh, okay.
I'm serious, man. Like I love everything that I've seen you produce. Like I'm a huge fan of, and I don't know if you knew this, but he edited a short doc for me that I did with one of my clients at the time, to try to build awareness around veterans who have been sexually assaulted in the military. And I watched the cut that he made, and I was literally like, this is going to get me clients. Like he made a documentary better than what I filmed. Does that make sense to you?
Power of good editor.
Thank you.
Power of a good editor.
And so, yeah, I've been meaning to get back with him to do more work for me. I just, I'm a cheap guy.
Dude, I don't blame. Well,
like in terms of like, I still haven't scaled the way that I.
It's so funny. I was about to say, because this is also a great transition.
Yeah.
I've constantly wanted to hire you for things.
Yeah.
And I've never positioned my business in such a way that I could afford you.
Yeah. Like,
but
which is a good thing.
no, that's actually great. So my relationship with Ryan for the last 6 years he's always been the person that challenges how I'm charging.
Yes.
Like there was a time I remember specifically, this is before I started Sleepy Dog Creative. I was kind of contracting. It was in between my businesses. But I quoted somebody $6,000 for a project. And then I started looking more at the nitty gritty, and I was like, it feels like this is actually a lot more involved than I was thinking. So I called Ryan up and I was like, hey, this is the scope of the project. What would you have charged? And he gave me some thoughts, and I told him what I charged. He's like, yeah, I would have put a 0 on that. That sounds more like a $60,000 project. And I was like, oh, okay, so I was right in feeling like this is a lot.
Yeah.
But like, I have always respected the fact that you, it just feels like you have challenged me well consistently to think differently about what I'm charging. Because I, as many other creatives have tended to do, chronically undervalue and undercharge.
Yeah.
And as a result, it puts us in this cyclical model where we can't even get in those spaces to put the time in the sales work or the relationship building to have those larger conversations because we're stuck in the grind we created for ourselves.
Well, you know what's funny? We have like all these goals that we have. Literally, one of my goals on paper is hire Ryan for a talk. No joke. Like that is on my goal sheet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he's just I am enamored at what you can pull out of. And I'm not just saying this for flattery because you're a podcast. Like truly, like it is one of my goals. Like I love your work, man.
Just affection. Affection.
I'll try to take it.
Just receive it, man.
Yeah, I do receive it. And I think it's been one of those things, like it's so easy to tell someone to charge more when you know their value. It's so hard when it's yourself.
100%.
And it's also, what's so hard is pricing yourself when you're in like a famine mode.
Yeah.
Like when you're feasting and you got projects lined up and a person pitches you a low project and you're like, I know my worth. Like I'm getting paid this. I have this lined up. That's great.
Yeah.
When you got nothing.
Yeah.
And someone comes in and pitches you like a thing that's like a quarter of what you usually charge. You're like, yes.
Yeah.
Like I just need the work. Like, and so it's this, what's hard then is just like, how often do you do that? And then you find like, I just feel like every time that I say yes to a project that I know in my gut that I shouldn't be doing, not just even price wise, but like there's just something about the client or something about the content that I'm in that I'm like, I don't know about this. It's down the road. I'm always like,
shit, I've done
dude,
it.
Should I?
Dude,
like it's
dude,
just
oh, dude, yes, 100%. I
You see
feel
what
that.
he did?
I feel that.
he's locking it.
I feel that freaking so bad. Like there's times, even now.
It's the perpetual like
your brain in the back of your head really quietly does this thing where it basically says, I could probably that. Exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
It's that exact, and it's really subtle in the back of your head. And anytime your brain does, I could
Pay attention.
probably
Pay attention.
bad things
So
are
here's a
downstream
question
because
then,
you're compromising yourself.
Inside
100%.
of this, when you take on said project for budget X,
Yeah.
that is a quarter of what you should be charging.
Yeah.
Do you do the same level of work as you would for?
Yeah.
So that's like
100%.
you do.
Yeah.
And the reason why I asked that is because like on the sales side for me, I have this thing where I go to a client, we sit down, we look at their scope, their needs, what they would need for ROI, how much value I can add, problems I can solve or whatever. And then we give them and by we, I mean me. I give
I know,
them a
it's
number.
not funny we all say we.
Yeah.
Our my company.
It's,
I'm like let's be honest, it's us in the closet.
Yeah,
my company and I.
Have you seen the thing? It's like a meme. It's like this kid on a cell phone with his foot in the air, like half hanging off the bed. And it's like me responding to a client email.
Exactly.
That is me 100%. But like you sit down, you give them the scope, and they're like, well, we have this. And so on my end, I'm like, okay, well, I can make that fit inside of this, but we're not going to have X, Y, or Z.
Yeah. I
It's
think
harder to do in just editing, but
I think it's easier in some ways.
Really?
Yeah.
Like,
but you just said that you don't do it.
So here's I'd say the caveats. There's times that I do a reduced price, or not reduced price, but a price that I don't usually charge, and there has to be a number of things. It has to be creatively inspired, like fulfilling to me.
Yeah.
It has to be a client that maybe a project that I believe in, and I'm like, I really want to see this happen. But it's not I think if we start going, okay, I'm getting paid a quarter of it, I'm going to give it a quarter of my effort.
Right.
That becomes such a dicey road to navigate, because you're kind of then going, okay, that's a project with your name on it. And it's out there. And so there's just this level of there has to be adjustments then. So then I have a conversation with the client going, cool, this is the amount of, I'm going to do it up to here. And then if you want more revisions, we're going to this hourly.
Yeah.
Or I don't think you can ever, when you're starting out, it's just do everything, and figure out what you like, figure out what you don't.
Yeah.
But then when you're getting these budgets, I feel like if I'm hungry for work, or if I feel desperate for work, I need to before I say yes, I'll pray about it. I'll talk to my wife about it. I'll kind of sit on it a bit and just go okay, if this happens, are we okay? How long are we okay being stuck in this?
Yeah.
And so then it's just making adjustments of the contract. Maybe, hey, I'll do this reduced price, but I'm actually you're not actually doing a reduced price because you just adjust the scope.
Yeah. So that's,
hey, we want this project for this price. It's cool. That's not happening. I can do this, and you work with them and then say, if this works well, then let's come back and we can work, but it's,
so that's more of what I was asking.
Yeah.
So the quality of what you do can't be compromised, but the scope of what you do can.
Yeah.
And
something has to be adjusted.
Right.
If you're going to have a lower price, but I wouldn't even say it's a lower price, because
now the scope
you're still
is
getting
adjusting.
paid what you're worth. You're just adjusting the scope. And you guys, I was listening to an episode and you guys mentioned where it's it's not necessarily you said the cheaper the client, the harder they are to work with sometimes. And I think there's a lot of truth to that, but it's the more penny pinching is not the right term, but
frugal.
The more that they're trying to negotiate, I just kind of go hey, this is what I'm worth. And the best thing I've found is if you don't think that I'm worth that, that's totally fine. I will put you in contact with other editors I know that are in that budget.
Yeah. I've done that.
Let me work with you then in that, because what starts to happen then is you're in the middle of it, and then the actual issues start to arise, which is not that you're getting paid a little amount. It's they're trying to cut corners. They're trying to kind of push you on this. And now more of your energy is spent trying to manage a client than doing the actual work, which to me is
yeah,
I can't handle that. Which to me is I tell my clients, I'm I'm here long term. Let's try a project. If you don't like working with me, that's great. Let's find somebody else for you.
Yeah.
If you like working with me, let's set something up that we both can grow and
100%.
flourish. And it's not about affording me. Let me actually contribute that value to you.
Yeah.
Like if you're paying me this, you should be making double that based off the work that I'm doing for you.
Right? Yeah. Like, and that gets to having more of the conversations focused around value and outcomes.
Yeah.
Which
And
makes
relationships.
and relationships, which makes it easier to have the conversation about money because you're not just like, it's not an innocuous number. Like we're actually trying to quantify
100%.
things. A little bit of a pivot, but
Yeah.
I'm curious, how are you now getting clients? Like you said, you're big on nurturing relationships. Most of the projects you're doing are probably long form, at least in the sense that like the duration of the project isn't, we knocked it out this week.
Yeah.
It's like you're building relationships with people over the course of months and,
Yeah.
but at some point you still have to continue to nurture more relationships. How are you doing that?
Yeah. So it's a weird thing too. Okay. So to answer the question, I'm not really doing anything in the sense of like the cold emails. I'm just connecting with people whose work I like.
Yeah.
And just, hey, let's hop on a Zoom. And I'm not trying to sell myself.
I mean,
it's just purely like, tell me about what you do. I'm excited to see the work you're doing. I get connected in different communities. I have started my own like online community of people, which like obviously invited. And so it just kind of allows people to like, in the community I started, it's not networking. It's purely like, let's support each other emotionally and relationally as we create. But yeah, it's just pursuing people relationally. And like what I've found is like, for the people I can, if I grab coffee with them or a meal, I just want to know who they are and let them, if they want to know about me, great. And then what happens almost 100% of the time is 2 months later, hey, I have this thing. Do you want to jump on it?
Yeah.
But I think that's also because I'm positioned to do the thing that almost everybody hates.
Well, I think
I want to get into this though, because he said something.
Can we
disagree? You go first.
No.
Rock, paper, scissors.
I want to pin that because I want to do a thing, and then we'll come back and then we'll unpin it.
Okay,
is that fair? Yes.
I don't care.
You got to remember it.
Please don't forget it.
Oh my god.
That's your
the pressure.
I mean, it sounds like both to like push back on what you're saying and also encourage what you're saying. Like what you are doing is a deliberate, intentional form of sales that is heavy on relationships and has a large degree of emotional stability. And like you're not trying to push yourself on people, but you're not an idiot. You're smart in the sense of I'm trying to build relationships with people because I care about them. I want to learn more about, people that care about storytelling, but also I know that these are the people that are going to eventually need help in the form of what I do. Yeah. And so I think if you truly were doing nothing, like you said you were, you would be showing up in your office waiting for emails to pop in from people that you already know. Yeah. And that's it. And I think that's what a lot of people probably I'll speak for myself. It was what I was doing for when I first started my business. I was like trying to maybe email some people or reach out to some people I knew, but I didn't know how to build that community. Yeah. And so I started going to networking events or networking with other people in my industry. And it was kind of like, I want you to know about what I do so you can hire me. But it was also just like, I just need more people to know that I exist. And I want to learn more about other people. And so it's a long game sales play, but I don't.
It is.
It is still something.
It is. So this is something that I actually have coached a couple of other videographers in, that like the approach that you have is similar to the approach that I have. Except our clientele is different. So it does work different, but I believe wholeheartedly in the idea that I want to provide value. I want to build relationship. I want to bless people in a way that even if they didn't hire me, I was able to bless them. And that's like that's what I'm hearing. Yeah. And so you've taken the long play approach, but without the expectation of like, I need these people to be my clients. It's like, I need to have community and relationship and something that matters. And you're going to choose the hours in which you spend that. Mm-hmm. and just to be frank, if you're going like hour to hour, like you're probably spending as many hours building
That's true.
relationships as you would have been cold calling and cold emailing,
or more, maybe.
or more.
Yeah.
But cold calling and cold emailing feels cold. Like it's in the name.
Yeah.
And I can't do that. And I'm not making a hard line. Like maybe I'll get desperate and my business will plummet and I'll need to do that. And that's totally fine. Like
and you might end up with a different outlook on it.
Right.
Yeah.
But for now, I've been enjoying, part of what I enjoy about running this business is that I kind of get to do it in a way that feels good to me. You know, when you're working for somebody else, you have to do what feels good for that boss.
Yeah.
When you do it for yourself, like, and so, yeah, like these Alex Hormozy, Gary Vee, like, you know, have to do social media content, but you have to do 100 cold calls and 100 cold emails. And if you're not doing that, you're not, I'm like, I don't care. Like, I don't want to do that. And so I'm not going to. Like,
yeah. And again, it's like, what's the goal, right? Like, it's the goal to make the biggest production company you can. Or like, and for me, again, with ADHD, it's just like, I have to figure out what works with my brain and and I can keep doing long term. And what's great about doing this stuff relationally is just like, if this person doesn't bring me any work, I got life from it.
Yeah.
And like,
100%.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
And
100%.
like, that has to be, for me, part of it. What gets hard is, you know, when they call you up and you're like, okay, I really need the work yesterday. And you need to like go, okay, that's not what this is about. Let's just like connect, figure out their ethos. Which I also find that like with doing editing, there's something about editing where things just get emotional really fast. I'm working with your footage.
Yeah.
You have this vision. I'm trying to capture it. Like, we need to be able to get messy and critique. And like, that's something that if I had to like brag about anything, I think I'm good at receiving critique, because I'm like, please rip up my piece. Tell me everything that's wrong with it. Because like, I'm trying to connect to your vision, not like make my own thing necessarily.
Yeah.
And like, and then if we get a good flow and I can introduce more of myself and that's something you want, then cool. But like, every client is different, and you have to kind of, if you don't know how they function and how they work relationally, when you're going back and forth late at night sending edits, like that stuff gets complicated really, really fast. And I've had plenty of situations where I'm like, this is horrible. Like, this is just, I can't keep doing this.
So I remember
Unpinned.
Why do most videographers, most creative people hate editing? What is the thing?
I have no idea. I don't know why.
As an editor, because it's something you love.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Like,
so let me rephrase the question. Editing, clearly, like, that's your favorite part.
Yeah.
Why is editing your favorite part?
I think there's something really fun of getting like hundreds of hours of footage and going, okay, I have to like shape and craft a story out of this. And like, to me, that's the fun part. I think a lot of people love the capturing of it. Like, you're moving, you're out there, you're experiencing the world, you know, you get to play with fun gear, you get this community around you and like doing this thing, which I also do enjoy. But I think then editing can feel isolating. And now you have to that shot didn't turn out the way I thought it would, or you have the vision in your head. And I think that's what's been fun about editing other people's footage is like, I'm a blank slate. I only know what the footage shows me. In your head, you're like, oh, this interview is really good. I'm like, okay, because I'm looking at the interview and it's not. it's not what we're looking for. And that's fine. Like, we gotta work with what we're given. And I think when I was editing my first couple of projects just as an editor and working with cinematographers, like people who are like, this is what I do, I'm a cinematographer, I'm like, I never want to film again. Like, the footage that I'm receiving is such a high quality, and there's such a type of brain that's willing to slow down everything to get a certain shot, and that's not how my brain works. I'm very much like, give me the mess and I'll make order out of it. Like, that's how
100%
how I work.
Which is what the project that he did for me.
Yeah.
I was all over the place.
Yeah.
And there was shots that ended in that final cut that I didn't even realize that I shot.
Yeah, 100%. Because you spend all this time getting a shot, and so it holds this weight. Or I know with you, there was some production issues where like shots didn't turn out the way you wanted them to. And like that's where all your attention and focus goes in. I don't have the vision of the shot that you have. I have the footage that you gave me.
Right.
And so then that's where the fun collaboration becomes is like, I have to know what the, my North Star is for every project. Like, what's the purpose? What are the parameters and the limitations of this? And then I can even sometimes get to challenge that and go, okay, cool. You gave me footage and you're saying we need to go here, but everything is telling me that the footage is taking us this direction. Does that work? And sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. And you have to kind of figure that out. But
practically, do you like physically scrub through every second of recorded footage? Because how would you know to say that? Do you know what I'm asking?
Yeah.
I guess it's a process question.
Yeah. So I think it's one of my favorite parts of the process. I would say if I had to, which is part of my ADHD, my least favorite is finishing. Like I hate finishing a project.
Yeah.
But for me, I'll go through the interviews and as an editor, it's like you learn to listen to things 2 times, 3 times speed and pick everything up. So I'll just watch through everything.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime something just pings or like stands out to me, it doesn't even have to be like, so I'm not even thinking, oh, how am I going to use this? It's just, that's interesting. Okay, that's interesting. I mark it.
Yeah.
And then same thing with all the B-roll. So I watch all that. I'm like, that stands out. And I'll take notes of things that people are saying or themes. And all of a sudden now it's like, I have this bird eye view of like, okay, we're talking about this kind of idea or talking about these kind of themes. And I know we need to get here and how do we get there? And then it just becomes a process of going into the string outs and getting the selects. And so I just keep shaving down the content more and more.
Yeah.
And let footage like, fall to the wayside as you kind of keep refining it. I say like editing is a lot less creation. Like you're not like producing or creating something. It's like sculpting.
Mm-hmm.
You're merely removing content and removing footage until you get this final piece.
It's interesting. When you described it that way, I generally hate editing, but I don't hate editing. And so I was trying to figure out why, what's happening in my brain. But listening to you talk about this, I think in my own brain, I get overwhelmed with the mass amount of footage when compared to the number of other things I have to do.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think that's what and it's maybe a money thing, but I think it's just like a scope of the business thing. And where there have been times that I've done creative projects like Over the Edge, for instance, and I'm like, all right, for the rest of this weekend or this evening or whatever, I'm working on this, and I know the story I wanted to tell. I know all of the interview stuff I have. Let's curate something, and that gives me life.
Yeah.
And so I don't hate editing, but I kind of hate editing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. My like little line I always give people is like, I want to do what you hate and what I love, and vice versa.
Right.
Like, and I think that's the thing with editing is like, if you're doing everything, the editing part is so slow.
Mm-hmm.
You have to kind of calm yourself down.
You have to be in a dark room.
You have to be, it's just like, you have to get into this headspace. And what's great as like, I'm a little biased, but I'm going to say like the first person you should the first part of the project you should hand off when delegating your work is probably editing.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're filming, you're sending emails, you're trying to get the next client. And then it's like, okay, I have to hush everything and edit, which if you love, great. But what's great for me is I walk into my office every day and there's a project lined up for me and I just get to stay in that space, which actually like I get to refine my own process to get faster, more efficient. But then also if a project comes in, I'm like, okay, actually I need to do something totally different to get in the right headspace for this.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And it's like, that takes, and it's hard. Like it's not like I go in and I'm like in this awesome space. Like sometimes I get into a project, I'm like, I can't handle this. This is a lot.
That actually makes a lot of sense because anytime I sit down, most of the stuff I'm editing right now is social media content or podcast content.
Yeah.
But whenever I sit down to edit, my thought process in my brain is how fast can I get done?
Yeah.
It's the polar opposite. And it's just kind of by necessity.
Well, that's like,
of course,
because of the way that I charge and like keeping in mind that I'm still really new, like, my whole thing, and I remember even sharing with you, it's still true to this day, is like efficiency has to reign supreme because I'm not charging $10,000 for a client to do one video. I'm charging, $3,000 to do 40 videos. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
Right.
And I find that the clients that I work the best with are people who have that type of mentality, because I get to take on the part that is the slowest and maybe not the most efficient.
That's the bottleneck.
And I'm like, okay, you go do your high efficiency, go get more work. I'm going to get here and like go into the pit and take my time producing this thing and then hand it to you, because every time I find myself editing out of a rush, it's like, it never turns out the way I want it to. It's when I'm able to slow myself down and be in that space, like, which is hard. Like it's a thing you have to keep working at, and I think it would borderline feel impossible for me to stay there if I had 100 other tasks that weren't editing to do.
Yeah.
If I was like, oh, I have to go film that thing. Oh, I have to go take on this project.
Which is why niching down has served you so well.
Yeah. And like, I would say practically, if I get the doing everything yourself, like out of necessity, it makes more sense. Like you get more profit in the short term. But I'd be like, I would argue or challenge people listening to this, like try to niche down as fast as possible if you can. And like, what's hard is like, you have to find the thing that you enjoy, but there also has to be a market for it. And it's like, I like directing, I like interviewing people, but that can't be my only job. Like maybe one day, but like it's finding that thing. But you have to, I mean, this took me 5-6 years of trying podcasting and social media and documentary.
Did you hear the exasperation on that one?
Yeah.
Tell me how you really feel.
Like if you are listening in a medium where video exists, you need to rewind and experience that moment.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
I do want to touch on that too, because I think there's this connotation with social media that it is like less than other content, which I would argue is not the case.
Right. And
my disdain and borderline hatred for social media is not because I'm like, it's not artistic. It's not. It's purely an editing style that I struggle with.
Okay.
Like it's not a
because of the way that you storytell. Like
what I realized recently after kind of editing, I think one of my last social media things was I like to create content where I don't have to convince you to pay attention.
Yeah.
You have clicked on the video. You have decided I'm going to watch it. You're sitting down. Okay, cool. Now let me take you on a story unrushed.
Yeah.
Social media is 3 seconds. I got to grab your attention. Okay, you're losing attention. I got to grab it. Like
it's all about dopamine.
Yeah.
Like have you? So most of my clients are social media.
Yeah.
And I've had to figure out, and this is what I was sharing with you on the phone the other day, is like what you do in social media, you have to take them through that dopamine ladder really quickly.
Yes. Yeah.
You have to nail the hook, you have to nail the movement, you have to nail the color, you have to keep them interested, and then you have to answer a question, and then you have to do that again. Yep. And so they have this curiosity loop. And it is a very challenging thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And there are people who are incredibly good at it. And I think there's a level of people that go, oh, well, it's social media. Like that's not. And I'm like, if you ask me to edit like an hour-and-a-half documentary, I'm like, cool. If you ask me to edit like 10 1-minute social media reels that like have to be punchy, I'm like, it's like pulling teeth.
Yeah.
And that's purely me. And so what's hard is I can now say no to that because I'm getting more of this work. But then it's kind of like chicken or the egg situation where it's like the more work you do in that lane, the more of that kind of work you get. But you have to then say no to the work that's not in your lane or your niche, which is really painful when you have no work. So it becomes this.
Yeah.
Because you don't. Yeah.
We are running low on time, but I want to spend some time talking about practical DaVinci things.
Okay.
First, just high level, couple bullet points. Why did you switch to DaVinci Resolve?
One, it doesn't charge monthly. It's one payment.
Yeah.
Two.
That's enough reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly.
That's been great.
Two, I'll just throw the hate. Two, I think Premiere, when I was using it, I was editing for about like 15 years on it and then switched over to DaVinci and never looked back. But they seem to stop caring about the basic functionality of editing. They kept throwing more features, but it still kept crashing. You still kept losing footage. And the first time I used DaVinci, it crashed like an hour into this project. And I'm like, oh, great. Well, I guess I'm screwed anyway. I didn't lose anything for the first time ever. Like I didn't have to keep hitting command save all the time because even with Premiere's autosave, it still crashes. And I like DaVinci's workflow better. I like them as a company better than Adobe. And
say more about that. I don't know much. I don't know. I don't know much about those company on a company level.
As like Premiere's gonna send a hitman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Keep going. I've got like a wire.
No, I think Adobe. I felt a shift with Adobe where it was like, oh, we really care about creators, and then there was some sort of shift where it's like, I think as subscriptions got more, it just kind of felt like they were more about like flagship features as opposed to stability and like what people actually needed. Where DaVinci, like the cameras they use, like create in Blackmagic and that whole, like they seem to just be more intentional and are just throwing features to get them out there. There feels like more of a, oh, people are asking for this, they need this, this is actually helpful. Also their stance on AI is I like more than what Adobe's is. And
I don't know what the differentiation of their stance is. What is it?
Can I guess? And you can tell me if I'm right.
Man, I'm so out of I'm so in the deep end right now. Like
go watch our current episode that's aired.
Right. My guess in the experience of like the difference is like Adobe's been really pushing AI in generative content. To replace the capture and curation of video stuff. Whereas every tool I've seen with DaVinci Resolve with Blackmagic seems to be utilizing AI to enhance or assist with the process of the creative work that's already there.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess I mean, but also Adobe's generative fill stuff is not very good yet.
Really? I haven't really seen it.
I've used DaVinci's quite a bit and I've liked it.
So like the specific thing that I'm thinking of was it was in, and maybe it was just because it was in beta and I haven't tried if it's finished yet, but you could add 2 seconds to a clip, right? Like
oh yeah,
and I tried that and I was like, wow, that was weird.
Yeah. It looks great in the commercials when they show you it, and it's just like in practice you're like, this didn't help at all.
Yeah.
The other thing I love about DaVinci, I'm just going to throw out there, is they have the Adobe equivalents in one platform.
Yes. Like, dude, that was the huge thing for me.
Was dynamic link in Adobe or something?
Something like that.
And I haven't been in Adobe for a while, so like this is all talk from like
a couple years ago. But I mean, even for me, starting in the audio world, having Fairlight be automatically synced and like speaking with the edit page because it's the same software was huge.
But you don't have to like click out. I love that. That was the game
because they got rid of Audition for a while, and then I think it came back or something in Premiere or in Adobe.
I will say I sometimes use Audition over Fairlight because I know how to use it better.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know if you were gonna get into this. The way I learned DaVinci was like I got one of the biggest projects I got in a while, and I was like, I'm just gonna do this in DaVinci. I'm not gonna do it in Premiere, and that's how I learned.
That's just what I did.
Total trial by fire.
I did that because you told me that. And I was like,
and I learned it so fast because when there's a deadline,
you have to.
You're like, how do I do this? And then you look it up. But if you're like, or I'll do a practice project, you're never gonna learn it. I need the stress. My brain needs the stress of everything's gonna explode.
When Ryan speaks, I'm realizing I tend to listen. I think I need to pay attention to that.
So, what are maybe 3 things, if you can think of them, that are features in DaVinci Resolve that you like didn't know was there and learned and it changed your workflow? Like assuming that somebody watching also hasn't discovered them yet.
I want to push back. I'm going to ask if you can ask a different question for this reason.
Sure.
3 things I think that have changed like how I edit. Because I think you can do, if you're in Premiere or Final Cut, you can do everything. Like all of them do the same thing. It's just what's the workflow and stuff. It's like for me, at the end of the day, I work well with DaVinci and I have found a good flow with it. But like you can do everything that to me has saved me a lot of time in editing in all the other programs.
Yeah.
So what I've realized, it's more of different like editing practices that I've picked up that have really saved me.
Yeah.
Not specific. And I find that they work well in DaVinci, but like the program itself, it's like I argue and try to get everybody on DaVinci because it's fun. And like, I'm like, you should join me. It's the best.
Right.
Come to the dark side.
But also it's like, I know great editors who use every program. So it's like one 100%. Of those things too.
So my question is not so much in contrast to Adobe, but like I'm thinking about like I recently upgraded from DaVinci Resolve Free to Studio. And so I recently learned how to do transcribing and text-based editing to search things. And like before I knew how to do that, it was like once I learned how to do it, it was like, oh, this is so much easier.
Yeah.
So like are there a couple things like that in DaVinci Resolve that are maybe little known things?
Yeah. And I'll again with the caveat of like I'm sure you can do in all of them. But transcription is definitely a big one. Because when I'm listening to interviews at like 2-3 times speed, I'll also have to be playing the transcription. And then every time that something sticks out to me, you can mark out sections in DaVinci. And so before in all my string outs, I'll have a marker. And then you can obviously look at all your markers in an index, and I can add notes and say, hey, they mentioned this theme. They mentioned this idea.
I didn't even know you could do this.
And then you can add metadata and give it like a hashtag. So you can pull up a folder and say, I need them talking about how they started the company. And maybe I have like a hashtag that's like intro to company, like intro, whatever. So every time I hit intro, there's a folder full of all those selects. And I can grab it from there.
What?
But this is okay. So, and this is the thing that's been fun is when you're in that one lane, you get to keep refining that one thing you're good at.
100%.
And like, if now you guys aren't
gonna see my mind just get blown?
Yeah.
Okay. Because my mind just got blown a little.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's because the more you organize, it's like the faster it goes. But obviously, if you have the footage in mind and you're going to edit and you have to get to 10 other projects, you're not going to go, let me try something different. Let me try metadata. Like metadata's been my new thing that I'm like, not new thing, but something I'm trying to push more and more, especially with larger projects. What else? Yeah, transcription's huge. The relight has been helpful.
Relight?
Yeah, has been
What's
fun.
That? Look,
basically it creates a depth map of a shot like through AI to say, okay, this is the subject, this is the background, and then you can add another light that will cast shadows on them realistically.
What?
We had an interview where someone was backlit and they're like, can you like color this? And I was like, probably not. Like it was pretty bad, but I was able to add another artificial light that, it's not like the best thing ever, but if something's totally backlit, it definitely helps. So
yeah. So the way that I had a project where I was super frustrated, and eventually when I was filming, I just gave up and everything was just broad lit.
Yeah.
And I just went in, and part of like my workflow that's been so much easier in Premiere, I don't even know how to do this. But in DaVinci, like with the nodes and the power windows, it was so easy to like throw. And I had like parallel nodes of all of these different shapes I created to push the light.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I still don't know if there is a way to do that in Premiere.
Yeah.
I just don't know it.
Yeah.
But it was so easy and intuitive to figure out in the node-based structure.
I think that's the big thing with DaVinci for me. It all just feels intuitive.
Yeah.
Like,
so you've got one more. You've given 2. You got one more.
Think.
What else?
Use that super powerful brain of yours and
think.
think.
Gosh. I would say some people hate it, and I understand why, but like the cut page. So like I have the little speed editor deck.
Yep.
And what's great with docs is you can take all of your footage and put it into a source clip.
Yep.
And so I can just watch and scrub through all of the B-roll and then make all the cuts based off that. So I'm not clicking, okay, this folder, okay, this folder, this folder. Yeah. And I can create all my selects. Basically not even using my keyboard at all because I'm just using this dial, which again, more buttons and like the more tactile the editing process for me, the better. So that's something that I love.
Well, we are like out of time, but we are going to have you back to talk even more. I'm going to have you prep a list of these things have changed my life.
Yes.
And then we're also like, there's just some deeper things also I wanted to get into.
More about the feature docs that he's doing. Like we didn't even talk. He briefly mentioned that. I'm like, what are these for?
If you have more questions for Ryan, we will have to have him back. So please comment them or email them to canyouchangethemusic@gmail.com. And
one other thing I'm going to say, if you are a video creator and you need an editor, hire Ryan.
Appreciate it.
Especially if you're like
How
making
can they
films
get a hold
and
of
stuff. Yeah.
We have a website, 4through7productions.com. And
what's your community too? Just
it's a Discord server.
Is it open to our very large audience?
It's not open to everybody.
We have 5 people.
Hey, no,
listen regularly.
It's not true.
Just kidding.
It's not true. It's not true.
What is the true number?
I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
I just know that 5's not true.
Yet to be seen. Yet to be seen.
So yeah, that's where our work is. We are not on social media. Like I have a YouTube channel. You know, we have an Instagram. I barely post on those.
So the website's kind of the
website's a big one, and then email Ryan Mjøen at 4through7productions.com. Shoot me an email.
I'll put that in the description.
I've been mispronouncing his last name.
You and everybody.
How do you pronounce it?
Mjøen.
So I've been doing it right.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a bone to pick. Hold on. We're going to run time for this. There is a recorded phone call from about a year ago where I was talking to Ryan, and he said both that I've been mispronouncing his name and that he would not tell me how to correctly pronounce it.
No, dang.
But you've been saying Mjøen.
It is.
I've been saying
it is
Mjøen.
Not a 0% chance that I was just gaslighting you. Like, not a 0%
I'm going
chance.
to find that recording because
I honestly, we've said his name correctly now so many times. I don't even know how I was pronouncing
it's been one of the greatest mysteries of our relationship.
Well, I think I was saying
thank
Mjøen.
you.
And the hard thing about it too is it's spelled MJOEN.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Mjøen.
Mjøen.
Yeah.
I think I was saying Mjøen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all
that's
right.
cool.
We got to go. I'm going to find this. All right.
Yeah,
Thank
do
you
it.
all. Consume
Thanks for
our
having me.
content.
Deuces.
Be, thanks. Bye.
Bye.
What is happening? Are you stroking right now? Are you okay?
Dude, that is unreal.